As we continue our look at the world of football badges, we're going to go global, absolute global, and head to Scotland. And we're not just going to do the Premier League, folks. We're going to do the whole pissing thing. That's right, folks, back once again with another league badge ranking video, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button, keep you bang up to date with all things football badges related, Albion Rovers related, whoa, football related, we all here. Under one Roski, we are trying to continue our search for the best football badge in the world, and we've hit Scotland today. We're going to take a look at all the leagues. We'll elaborate on it in just a second. Let's just jump in. A little bit of a backstory here. So I do like logos. I have a second channel. It's called Box 500 Productions, where I do look at logo histories from the start of it, the initial concept, all the way through to the present day logo. So that's why I thought, you know what, we'll take a little look at some football badges and rank them from best to absolute the pits. So yeah, if you want to check this out, yeah, make sure you do so. I think there might be a link in the description down below. But anyway, we are talking about Scotland today. Oh yes, and we're going to go the whole hog and take a little look at the whole the divisions. Premier League, Championship, League 1 and League 2. So let's crack on with the first. The first, I believe, is Aberdeen. Now, before we talk about it a little bit, I just want to tell you what I like to see in a badge. Now, what I like and what you like is a completely different thing. You might like the modern new badges. I'm a traditionalist. I like the old school badges. I like to, when I see a badge, I know the club, whether it does say it in writing, just like the Aberdeen badge does here, or there is something recognisable about the badge instantly, and it doesn't need the words to support it. I also like to have the date of the club on there, stamped on there. Chuck a bit of Latin in there maybe, and you're onto a chicken dinner winner right there. But anyway, let's take a look at Aberdeen. Obviously, Aberdeen are red and white. We know that very well. Where'd you go, Aberdeen? Now, we're not finished with you yet. So this one is a clean-looking badge. And it does have the date on it, and it has the ball in the back of the net, and the net does look like an A. I don't know if it's meant to look like an A, but it does look like an A. It's a nice looking badge. It looks kind of one thing I've known over the past few days is I don't like the round badges, the circular badges, as much. Some of them do win me over in the end. This one is nice, and it's pretty clean. It's not ugly, but it just doesn't tick me over in the right spot. So I'm going to put it in the decent column for the time being, which means it's okay, but not amazing. Next up, we have one that does look pretty amazing, but I'm going to have to probably move it over here a little bit to take a look. It's Falkirk, that's right. I would not have known if it was Falkirk unless it had the writing on there, and it has some sort of mega spiral coming out of it. That looks cool as you like. I'm not even sure what that is rising through the football there. It does say football. That's pretty cool. You got to admit that's pretty epic. So on that note, I'm going to push him into the best of the rest. Okay, next up we have another old, well, it does look like an old school badge, but I'm pretty sure it's a new version. It's Strand Rah Fc. I don't know what league they're in at the moment. I'm going to blow it up a little bit, take a little closer look at it. So there's a nice good old ship in the middle of that badge. It does say 1870, and it does pop out a little bit. It's a nice looking badge. It's not hideous, but it does look a little bit boring and a little bit dull after a while, and I've only just looked at it for like a minute. So yeah, it's an okay badge. It's nothing hideous about it. But next up we have what I believe it looks like the Polish emblem, but it's actually St. Johnstone FC. I think are they knocking on the Premier League or in the Premier League? They got Perth in the middle. Oh my goodness, this has multiple layers on this one. And you know me, I like multiple layers. This has a maybe a lamb in the middle there with a cross in this, the Scottish flag. It says Perth 1884, and then that's all enclosed within a shield. And then that shield is then surrounded by what appears to be two phoenixes or something along those lines. That rings quality for me. It does say St. Johnstone as well. It's got it all in there. Under one Roski. That's right. So that baby is going to go pushed in best of the rest. Next up we have, who is this? Stirling Albion. Now, as I was preparing for this video, I did have a sneak peek at look at this one, and I do like what I see. The only thing, it is hard to work with here with the transparent background. So we're going to try and blow it up and maybe move it across to the side here. You can see the Stirling Castle, I believe, in the background on there. That looks beautiful. It is transparent, which does add a little bit of negativity in this situation, but it's a good enough badge to be in the best of the rest category. So we got 3 out of the 5 already in the best of the rest category because we're getting some unusual looking badges. Here's what I could probably do with a bit of juice. It is Stenhousemuir FC. It does say established 1884 in there. We like that, but for me it's lacking a bit of character, a little bit of something. It's one of them circular badges, but this one's actually worse than the previous 2 in the decent column. So that for me is going to go in the meh column, which means it's pretty pants, and it could do with if there's a designer out there looking for a project, check out the Stenhousemuir badge. Next up, we're avoiding the old circular badges. We're going for a shield, and it's Ross County, which has a stag head on there. You know, I like me old stags and deers and mooses and stuff, so that's already got a bit of character, but it's a little dated. This one does look a little dated. I like the tradition. I'm a traditionalist, but sometimes there's badges that are old and things like that could just do with a redo, and this one falls in that category. It just looks a little bit weird. Looks like a cheap $5 knockoff. Yeah, I'm not liking it, and on that regard, the instant nook on. I'm not gonna move it for the sake of moving it, but I'm putting it in the meh column down there. Alongside Stenhousemuir with something that could do with a bit of a rejig. What do we have here? Instantly, no idea what club this is, and I still don't know. I'm pushing it over into a bit of light over here on this right hand side. Don't even know what animal that is. It's unusual. I'm going to go to the board. What logo is this? I'm looking at my board. It is Raith Rovers. That is right. So instantly, when you look at this badge, I don't know what club it is. It doesn't give me anything of any significance to tell me what badge we're looking at. So that's a negative for me. Despite the mythical beast being on the animal on the badge, it's lacking, and it's lacking a lot. So you know, if I was in charge of the media, or not the media, but the sort of badge design on this sucker, I'd say let's enclose this beast inside maybe a circular badge or something, and then get the writing around it and keep the traditional stuff in the middle, but get something that's going to be able to be recognized. So this one's going in the dog shit pile. We're putting it in the dog shit because it definitely needs some attention. Next up we have Queen of the South, and how do I know that? It's because it says Queen of the South in there. Now, this is a multi-level badge, as you can see. It's got a bit of Latin in the middle. We like a bit of that. It also has FSG. Don't know what that means. If any Queen of the South fans out there, or Scottish fans are watching, what the heck does the FSG mean in the middle? Does it Queen of the South? I want to like it. I do. The shield and the Latin adds a bit of stuff, but I think the Queen of the South writing is a bit blown out. It's a bit like a rubber dinghy in the sea. It just looks a little bit off. And on that note, because we've got a lot to cover, I'm going to push him into the meh column. Usually, if it's got Latin or something in there, it's a winner, chicken dinner. But this one, unfortunately, has been pushed down to the meh column. We've got so many to do. That's why I'm going to be a bit more cruel. Next up, we have this one. Again, instantly when I saw the Peterhead one, it looked like a fish and chip wrapper, fish and chip logo or something like that. The Peterhead FC, but it's colourful, it's bright. It's a little bit childish. It says the Toon Blue, or the Blue Toon. I don't know their nickname. I used to live near there, Peterhead, or drove through it a few times, up in the Moray Shear back in the day. 1891, ball, it's cute, it's quaint, it's definitely unusual. It's combining a couple of things, the circular badge with something else. So it's going to go in the decent column. It has no chance. Oh, I didn't really talk about it, but any of the badges that end up in the elite column will go into the World Badge, or the Badge World Cup, which we'll do at the end of this long series. We'll take all the elite badges from around the world, put them in a World Cup sort of draw them into groups. Then it's up to you guys to make the decisions as which is the best badge in the world. I'm just doing the elimination process. Next we have Partick Thistle. And of course, if it's Partick Thistle, it has to have a thistle. Now it does, and I like thistles, and I like Scotland and all that kind of good stuff. It says 1876. It's got all that, but it's a bit boring, isn't it? It's a bit boring. The thistle should be blue, should be standing out, should be popping out of that badge. And right now, it's just a bit bland. The detail of the thistle is good. I like the detail, but it just is a little flat. Why? Why has it gone all black and white? Has it always been black and white? It's a decent badge, but that's just about it. Now, the Montrose Badge, coming out to 1879, has a Scottish rose or something. Not sure what the flower is. There's a border. It does look a little similar colours and sort of structure of the Ross County badge. But it's lacking. It's looking like a dated badge here. A badge that was maybe possibly redone in the 70s or 80s to try to look modern and new, but it just looks a little boring as well. And again, the detail on the ball and the detail on the rose look a little bit faded, and could do with a bit of some poppiness. So sort those out, and you might have a decent badge on your hands. But right now, a bit bog standard. Now this one looks like Livingstone, and it is Livingstone. Now that has Livingstone FC West Lothian written all over it. Has a lion in the middle, or tiger, or something. Wrapped round in some Scottish stuff. But it is boring. It's boring. It's two colours. Two colours, I think, can sometimes look good, but for the overall part, it can look a bit dull, look a bit bland, and there's a lot of empty space around the inner workings here, which doesn't do the badge any good. I think it just makes it look a little bit too distant. You're looking into the wilderness there, try and see who this is. So maybe if they blew up the stuff in the middle to take some of that extra space around the black crap, then you'd be onto a nice looking badge. But again, it's lacking. It's lacking. We started off so strongly up in Scotland, and now we're into a lot of meh badges. Can Elgin City pull themselves out of the woodwork? Now, this is a town that I'm familiar with. Lived down the road, Kinloss, back in the day. You know what I'm talking about. Elgin City, not been in the Scottish League that long. They've always been crap, though. Have they always been in the fourth tier of Scottish football for the past 20 years? I think so. Now, it's got a bit of Latin in there. I think it's got some sort of cardinal or pope or something in the middle, or priest or whatever. Got two angels on the side. It's got the character. It's got the tradition. It says Elgin City, but again, and it has the third colour. You would think it does okay, but no, it just looks a little bit. There's hardly any effort drawn into these angels on the right, on the left, and whatever on the wings there. It just lacks a little bit of depth and quality. It's an okay badge. It's not bad. I'm going to put it in the decent column. It could have been so much more better. So much more advanced. It's a circular badge of a club that's recently been included into the Football League up in Scotland. It's Edinburgh City, 1928. Got the castle in the middle. Yep, we like an Edinburgh castle here. Got the three colours, yellow, black and white. It's clean. It's very clean, very modern, very new. And I did say at the start, I don't usually like those, but this one looks pretty good. And I would be proud to have that on my chest. Yes, I would. It would be a pretty nice looking badge. It's going to go in the best of the rest because it stands out. It pops out. Contrasting to that of the Stirling Albion one, because the Stirling Albion is very good looking, but it's got that transparent crap in the middle, and that could hurt it in the end. Next up, we have East Fife. Coming at you out of Scotland. Don't know what league they're in either these days. This looks old school, proper old school, but it looks very boring. It has the Scottish flag at the back and the Scottish football as well. Says East Fife Football Club, Scotland, like we need to know where it's from. No, we don't need to know where it's from. We've got the Scottish flag at the back there. You either have one or the other, I think. I think there's a bit of an overkill, and maybe that extra ribbon at top is a bit of an overkill. But this is boring and old, and again, it's an area that could bring it into the modern day is if they were to sort it out. And in fact, I'm going to put that down in the dog shit pile up against who is this one? Raith Rovers. So East Fife, I'm sorry, but your badge is cack. Next up, we have Dundee Unite, or Dundee. This is Dundee. Now, I like this one because it says DC, has my initials all over it. Oh, yeah, so that means it's an instant winner, right? Not necessarily. I'm just double checking, make sure it is. It is Dundee. Again, if I showed this to the wife, she'd be like, I don't know who that is, because it's not clear as day. It just says FDC. She could make something else up. But yeah, so that's a big negative. A negative in my eyes because it doesn't say nothing about Dundee. There's nothing significant about Dundee in this. I just know it's Dundee because I've seen a few badges with Dundee knocking about on it. So that, in that regard, despite the fancy font and it has my initials in it, it's going down into the dog shit. Sorry, Dundee fans. It's just not good enough. However, if I showed this badge to the wife, she'd be like, oh yeah, that's from Dundee United. Why? Because it says it all over it right here. And it has a nice little mythical beast in the middle. Whether it's a lion, dragon, whatever the heck that is. It's got that. It's got the colours. It's got all the ticks in the right boxes. Doesn't have the year on there, which is a shame. Would have made a clean sweep. It's not that good though, Dundee, so don't worry, your opposition is going into the decent column. Next up we have DAFC. Now this is Dunfermline, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me just blow this baby up and closer look at this one. And it has castle in there. That's questioning. It's kind of like some stained glass sort of look. It's a bit strange. I'm just double checking if it is Dunfermline. I think so. Yeah, it's triangle, which it's unusual. We don't see many triangle badges knocking about, especially in the British Isles. It's just a little fancy for me, a bit too fancy, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I wanted to like it, but I don't. So unfortunately, it's going to go in their mech column. It's not dog shit. It is unusual, and it does have that stuff. So far, we're struggling to get a team in the elite, but don't worry, that will change at the end. We need some to go through to the World Cup. Here we go, though. Here's a potential winner, chicken dinner. The quality of the logo badge itself here in this video is a bit poor, but don't let that knock you. It says Cowdenbeath on there. I'll search, hey wife, where does this one belong? She'll say Cowdenbeath because it's written right there in plain English. Has the mythical beast, has a football on there, has some 2 thistles on there, has even some more workings at the top. It's got a lot of stuff going on, and that's what I like to see. I like a little bit of detail, and that. Should I do it? Should I? No, I'm going to put it in the best of the rest. I don't think it's that good, but it's very good. It's in contention right there to go to the top of the table. Oh yeah. Next up, we have another one with a bit of character. It's Cove Rangers. How do I know? Because it says it right there. Cove Rangers. Oh, it's again not the greatest quality of image picked up. It's okay. I like this one. Again, lion or dancing dragon or something on there. It's got a bit of a wreath around it. Football says Cove Rangers. It's not that good though, is it? It's a little. It's starting to fade. So as the longer I look at it, the more bored I get with it. Here we go. I like the look of this one though. This one is got potential. Clyde FC, yeah, 1877 has the year on there. Has a nice looking ship. It has a Scottish wreath around the side. This one, it pops out at you. And I like it. And I'm thinking I'm going to give this passage to the World Cup. It's going. Clyde FC are going to the World Cup. You never hear that anytime soon. Clyde FC, you're in elite status. Your badge is pretty tip-top. I like it a lot. Next up we have Ayr United. Here we go, Ayr United. 1910. This again is a modern round badge. It has a Scottish flag in the middle, has the date, has the year, has the name written across the top. Ayr United also has the nickname, the Honest Men. Black and white stripes. Did they play in black and white stripes? I'm not a big fan of, or a big knowledge on Ayr United. That's a Scottish flag as well. It's contained a lot of little details in there. It's a round badge though, so that takes a little bit of a knock, and honestly, I don't like it. It's okay. It's decent. Next up, we have Annan Athletic. Now this has got style right here. 2 Scottish crests, and they bounce out of the thing. Despite being an old-looking badge, this is an old badge. You can tell by the drawings itself. It says Annan Athletic. It's got the thistles on the side. We like that. We've got a sort of torch in the middle, which is unusual. It's got character. It's a little old, a little dated, but I like the little elements they have in there, and I'm going to put that in the best of the rest. Oop, making a mail of this. Go on, Annan. Get yourself sorted out. You're in there. Next up, we have another cute-looking one. It is Alloa Athletic. I like this one as well. We're starting to get some really good ones once again. I like the horn. It does look American. Like it's been done by some sort of a high school, like the bees or the wasps or anything. So that is that a good thing though? Does it lack appeal because of that? I don't know. I'm on the fence on this one. I think having thought about it a little bit longer, it does look too American. You know what I mean? And I want to see Scottish traditions rising through here. And this one, despite it pops and it zings. I think if I were to look at high school football logos, I'll see a B like that quite often. And in that regard, I'm putting it back down the man. Instantly, it was from 0 to 0 within seconds. That's how mad it is, boys. That's how mad it is. Next up, we have this fella. This is Albion Rovers. Now, I had to look that up. Why? Because I don't know. It doesn't say Albion Rovers on there. It says AR. Could have been anything else. Has a nice little rose in the middle there with 2, whatever they call them, swords, special swords. But despite all the fanciness, and it's a clean badge. There's nothing wrong with it, but it just doesn't say Albion Rovers. So with that, as much as I like to see it and keep it around, it's going to the dog shit. Sorry, buddies. Sorry, pals. Aye. Next up, we have Airdrieonians. You better believe it, pal. Aye. This one has a cockerel at the top. a lion. I can see that because it looks lying down, and I've actually got 2 lions on there. AFC, Airdrieonians. I like the pyramid effect. It's going like gradually going down into the big old spread down the bottom. It looks pretty sweet. And that one is, I think, is good enough to go into the decent column. We're getting a little bit jam-packed here. St. Mirren. St. Mirren, pal. Aye, where are we going here? See you, by the way. Aye. 1877, St. Mirren Football Club has 2 somethings in the middle and 2 roses. Has some checker effect in the middle. It's a circular badge. We don't really know. It has to be a zinger if it's has to be a zinger if it's a circular badge. So this one, I'm losing it. I'm losing the belief. The longer I look at it, it's going in the meh. Next up, we have here's one. It's been around on the block and in the public eye a lot. It's Glasgow Rangers. Let's examine it a little bit closer. It says Rangers Football Club. And it says ready. And it has a lion in the middle and it has a football. It reminds me of QPR-ish back in the Championship of England. Again, unfortunately, Rangers, you may be pretty decent at the old football action, but your badge could do with a bit of a boost. I'm actually going to push these down a little bit. It is getting a little bit jam-packed, and I thought I'd be all right, but I need a bit more space. Just a wee bit, pal. Just a wee bit. All right, get them in there. Next up, we have, who's this then? I see this one. As cool as it looks, I have no idea who we're talking about here. Let's blow it up. Has a bit of Latin on there. This is old school as its best. But I have no clue who it is. Who is it? Who is it? It's Queen's Park. Queen's Park. Yep. A lot of detail, a lot of this, but I have no clue. It's very good. You just need to stick Queen's Park on there somewhere, and you have probably the best badge in the Piston Division. But on that regard, I can't do anything with you. I can't. So you're going to go in the decent column. That's how negative or of a downgrade you go. Motherwell's, here we go. Motherwell, it's obviously very recognisable. Why? Because it says Motherwell on it. 1886, it's got the year, it's got the sort of factories at the background, that sort of newish 3 trees knocking about football. It's got the colours. I like it. I think it's a modern take, but it encloses all the stuff. In regard from Motherwell. Well, this is going up there, boys. It's going to the best of the rest. The colours are unusual. That's probably because of the football strips and stuff. Oh, here we go. I like this one. This one's cute. This one's got some stuff. It's Kilmarnock. It's Kilmarnock, and it's got 2 squirrels. It's got 2 fingers. It's got a lot of jazz. This is a winner. I'm not even going to talk. It does, again, the cartoon or the drawings of the squirrels are a little kind of newspapery, but it sings with me. It sings a bunch, and that one is going instantly into the elite column. It's going to the World Cup. It's going to the World Cup. Yeah, you're alongside Clyde. Next up, we've got Hibernian. That's right. Now, if Motherwell gets into the best of the rest, now Hibs should also do, because it's pretty similar. Instantly, it's just a green version. When I say green, it just looks very similar. It's got the castle in there. It's got a ship. It's got a harp. It says Hibernian on there. And it's got the year. It does have the year. You just can't see it. It's written in there. So it's pretty decent. I like it a lot. But is it going to go to the World Cup? Not initially. It'll go in the best of the rest, and we'll talk about that at the end. Next up, we have a cracker here. It is Dumbarton. They have a flipping elephant on there. I like elephants. They've got a castle in the background there as well. Dumbarton. If I showed this one to the wife, she'd say Dumbarton FC. Why? Because it's written in there in plain English. Yeah. So this one is cool. I do like it. And unfortunately, it has a lot of colour in there. It's got a little bit of everything. I'm going to push that into the best of the rest, right in there. Squeeze in there. I might have to make it a little bit smaller. And you're in the mix. In fact, let's scooch these down a smidge just to give it a bit more options, because I think we might have a couple more squeezing in here before the time is up. Next up, we have Forfar Athletic. Now, this one is a bit boring, isn't it? It is a round one again. But I don't think it's one of these new brands. It might be a revisited badge. But the font is boring. Just the inner workings is a little bit bland as well. It just fades into the background. And again, it looks like a cheap knockoff from Fiverr or one of them websites. And unfortunately, you're going to join those guys in the bottom. Yeah, I don't want to go there, but I'm going to go there. Again, these options are no disrespect to the clubs. If you're Scottish, you're already a winner in my eyes. Next up, we have this one. Again, it's hard to see. It is Greenock Morton. It's transparent, which I don't know if that's their own doing or someone else out there, but you can't really see it. It has a ship on there, which usually has good vibes for me, but I'm going to put that in the dog shit as well, purely because it's transparent. I can't really work it. Can't really see it. Another one that could be joining them is Hamilton Academicals. Again, it's a round badge. It has 1874 on there. It has 3 blobs in the middle, which I don't know what they mean, if I'm honest with you. But again, it looks like these circular badges like Aberdeen. But I just think it lacks a little bit of pizzazz, so much so that it's going to go in the meh column. I know I'm being a little bit generous. I should put it in the dog shit pile, but I'm going to put it in the meh. Just because. Here we go. Is Hibs Bitter Rivals, Hearts. Why do I know it's Hearts? Because I just know it's Hearts. Now, if I showed, again, the wife this one, she may figure it out it's Hearts because of the shape of the heart of the badge. The badge of the heart, if you know what I mean. It doesn't say Hearts on there. It does say the year, but it is pretty. It is a pretty looking badge, but it's not pretty enough to trouble anybody. So it's going to go into the decent column. It's a decent looking badge. So away it goes. Now here we go on to a winner. This is Embellished Caledonian Thistle, and it has everything you'd ever want in a badge. It does look like it's been touched up recently, modernised. It says Embellished Caledonian Thistle. I'd suggest, if anything, change the font, maybe make it a little bit more fancy or something. It's got a pisone eagle on top. It's got the thistle. It's got all the la-di-da-ness in there. Again, stick the years either side, and then you've got an absolute belter of a badge. But I'm not even going to waste your time putting that in the vote or whatever. It's going to the World Cup. Oh, yes, it is, alongside Kilmarnock and Clyde. Here we go. Here's one for you. It's Rangers. Now, I'm already making room for it. I'm going to put it in the decent column. If Rangers are in there, these guys are going to go in there. I'm not going to step on anyone's toes, but it is a pretty boring badge. It doesn't sing. It doesn't zing. It's got not much going on for it. It's got a former four-leaf clover in there, 1888. It's just a round badge, though. It's been a round badge for years. It's not one of these new builds. It's one that's been around a while. So, yeah, it's got character and it's traditional. And, yeah, don't mess with tradition. That's what I say. Next up, Brecon Football Club. Here we go. Another round badge. But this one looks a little flat. It could do, maybe this castle could do with a bit of colouring in to make it sing a little bit more. But besides that, it looks a bit boring, doesn't it? It looks like something I've knocked up my own. I'm not even going to go to Fiverr. It's me, and I'm terrible. So this one, unfortunately, is going to go into the dog shite pile. Oh, yes, you heard. Down here. We've got a few of them now. I'm going to wrap it up with Arbroath. Let's take a closer look at Arbroath. Hopefully I've got them all now. It has a something castle type like. Says Arbroath. The colours are quite hard. I'm a little bit colourblind. It does hurt my eyes a little bit. And on that note, unfortunately, I'm going to spread the love and put you down in the dog shit pile. You got it. You got it. So we have 3 already through to the World Cup. Now we're going to take, because it's Scotland, maybe we'll take another 3 from the best of the rest. So instantly, I like the St. Johnstone one. That's coming up. That's getting promoted. So that's going to the World Cup. So we have 4 now. We've got 2 spots remaining. Now, as much as I'm a Hibs man in Scotland, I'm straight up tell you. But if I send Hibs through, I've got to send Motherwell through. So Hibs is not going through. Yeah, I don't really want to send 2 of the same sort of styles through. The Annan one is in contention. I'll tell you that now. Cowden Beath, maybe. The Dumbarton one I like as well. So and the Falkirk one I like as well. Stirling, if it was not flipping transparent, it would be a winner chicken dinner. So it's down to these last 3 now. Falkirk with the crazy old thing that's going on in there. The Annan with the thistles on there. We have 1 thistle representative in there, and then there's Dumbarton with the elephant. Oh, decisions. I don't know. I think for unusuality, I'm going to go with the Falkirk badge. Yes, it's a little crazy. It's a little bit wild. Despite it all, it's going to go to the World Cup, and we have our 2, 4, 5 winners of the Scottish Badge of the Year. It's not Badge of the Year, Badge ever. Anyway, so that's what I reckon about the Scottish League and where they rank in standard from elite to dog shit. Unfortunately, there has to be some people in the dog shit. But hey, I love you all. All the clubs are amazing in Scotland. They can do nothing wrong. So yes, don't think this is as a dig at you. It's just trying to separate my preferences for badges. Give me your thoughts and opinions in the old comment section down below. What you think about those badges. Do you agree or disagree, pal? Aye, tomorrow we'll go over the coast, over into mainstream Europe. Maybe look at the Bundesliga, maybe look at the French League. I've don't really pay much attention to the French League, but we're going to go there, folks. We're going to visit it. If you've got any other leagues you want me to check out, stick them in the old comment section down below as we try to expand the World Cup to go absolute crazy and find out the best badge in the world. Anyway, folks, be sure to give this video some love and smash the old thumbs up. I'll see you all next time when we do another badge review. Until then, I'm out. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.